Hi, in this video we'll discuss basic functions, all the buttons and all the display on this panel, and after that we'll power up that panel. So you have a numeric keypad there, you have a button called enter, a button called delete, or you can call it no. This one will be called yes. On the right hand side you have sound alarm, which means basically when you press it all the bells will go off. This one you use when alarm goes off, and you basically when you press it it will stop bells. When you press it again they will go off again. So basically when alarm goes off, procedure would be press this one if you want to stop bells ringing, because it's false alarm. If it's not false, you're not pressing that, you just let it ring and people have to evacuate. But if it's false alarm, you press this one, then you investigate what happened, and if the reason why it went off is not there, or maybe brake glass was pressed, so you just reset the brake glass, then you can reset system with that button. When you press this one initially, this one here, when alarm goes off, panel will be still beeping. If you want panel to stop beeping, you have to press mute buzzer. If during that another event happens, and panel will start beeping again. But in general, if there's one event, you press mute buzzer, panel will stop beeping. Below here you have all the zones. Well, most small installations you won't be using them. Morley panels can have tens of zones. This is just simple display. On the bigger panels you will have multiple rows of LEDs displaying different zones. On the left hand side you have a row of lights. So the first one is fire. It lights up red when the fire goes off. Any fault on the system, you will have this one. This one, if you acknowledge any faults, so this will show fault, but if you press then accept, means you acknowledge that you know about the fault, this should light up. If you disable something on the panel like zone, output, input, sounders, this one will light up. All those are yellow, by the way, except this one, which is green, but which you will see in a moment. Test, if you put panel in test, some of the zones or something else, this one will light up. Sounder fault. Sounder is on different circuit than all the other devices. So devices are on a loop. You can have also sounders on the loop, but this fault is especially for the this panel has two outputs for sounders built in. So let's say A and B, and if they will go to fault, it will light up here. If you disable relays, it will be visible here. Air fault, it's somewhat common for those panels. It shouldn't be related really to the panel, but to the wiring. But I've seen quite often air fault on those panels. In general, air fault is very difficult to deal with. In light version, it's not dangerous to the functions of the panel. If the drain on the loop will become strong, then whole loop may go down. System CPU fault. I think this will, when we power up panel, this one will light up, and I will explain that in a moment. Then we have sounders disabled, and we have alarm silenced, supply fault. So this will be power fault, and this is green when the power's on. So that's a basic thing. And obviously you have the numeric keypads for punching your password, and you can use an arrow and the change button to use also letters to basically you can name different zones or different devices from the keypad. What I will do now, I will power it up and it will start making noise. The reason I'm doing this like that, I want to show you that CPU fault. That panel is already programmed and the loop is connected and sounders are properly connected. The only real fault which we have on that panel is battery fault because it's not connected. We'll see, so panel was completely powered down after being programmed. So now we powered up. And we have what? We have CPU fault. And we have a fault as such. That fault at the top here means that it's any fault or any and all faults. So any fault will light up this one. And we have this beeping, yeah, and then we have AC on, battery charge, something wrong, panel active. See, it's asking you, you cannot do anything until you punch your password in. So it is asking, do you want to enable the control keys? And you do yes. I'll start pressing this button here from distance. Yes. Please enter the password. Password for those panels is 9898. So we do 9, 8, 9, 8. Now we came to the menu. But even to do the reset, you need access to the controls. So we will talk about this menu some other time and different video. It's very straightforward, very easy to go through. But what we need to do, because we have those certain things about this panel is that if you have a fault on that panel and that fault clears itself, panel will not clear that display here. You have to press reset. Performing reset. It's still beeping. We have a supply fault here, which is, as I said, batteries. And if this is here, also this one will be here because this will light up for any fault. And at the moment you see battery low, charger fail. Yeah. But in reality, so what we have to do, we basically, if we just do accept, it will not stop beeping. But if we do mute buzzer, it will stop beeping. But if any other fault will show up, it will start beeping again. So as I said, in this panel, if you have a fault and the fault clears itself, it will still be displaying and beeping, and you have to reset the panel to clear the fault from the panel. And that's the basic start with that panel. There's one more thing maybe which you should know. See on that keyhole here on the right hand side. To open the panel, you need a key, and there's basically one key for all the Mori panels. Doesn't matter what serial number, what model, one key does all. And if you stick into the panel, you can open that. I just do that right now. And as you can see, I have loads of keys, different panels, different things. Yeah. As you can see, I can open the panel. Next video, I will show the interior of the panel. and where I show you where the most things are which you will be dealing with.